How's it going, everyone? My name is Clink and welcome back to Demon Souls. Today we are going to be finishing off the Valley of Defilement with my favorite part of the game. But first, we're going to talk to all the disciples here. I'll put a timestamp in the description if you just want to skip over this part, but I think this is a really interesting little bit to see, so we're going to go through it.
Thank goodness, for he has allowed me into the presence of Saint Urbain. I shall serve him and pray with him, and thus express my faith in God, Mbasa. I plan to bequeath all my possessions to Saint Urbain. My grandfather's articles may contain more miracle stone shards like the one he gave me, but they'd only be wasted in my hands. Saint Urbain can hear the voice of God through them. Oh, I can hardly believe it. The fact that, oh, Saint Urbain, Mbasa. Oh, Saint Mbasa.
You have rescued His Augustness. I express my deepest gratitude. You have relieved me of a great illness. Oh, thank God, Umbasa. With His Holiness Saint Urbain back, the magicians will have to watch themselves. Thanks to his holy miracles, you brave battlers of demons will no longer be solely dependent on dark magic. Isn't it wonderful? Surely the demon slayers have awaited such an opportunity. Do you have any connection to Patches the Hyena? I trust not. He is a depraved, vile man, and he deserves no allies. I hope that an upstanding hero such as yourself is selective when making associations. By the way, I highly recommend the companionship of the jovial Saint Urbain. Have you heard the rumors about Astraea of the Valley of Defilement? They claim that she and her loyal knight have become demons and lead a clan of degenerate miscreants. In truth, the rumors are surely unfounded. There are all sorts of wrongdoers down there who would think up such nonsense. Yet, if the rumors are true, then may she be eternally damned for her debasement of the Lord's name. Yet, if then may she be eternally...
Okay, so before we talk to Saint Urbain, one thing, I don't know what happens to the Disciple of God, but Saint Urbain essentially takes his spot here in the Nexus. And as he said, the Maiden Astraea seems like she was fairly high up within this church, is what we'll call it for these people, I guess. And you can also tell that they regard Saint Urbain quite highly. So the other thing I want to talk about is just what all is in front of Saint Urbain. You can see he has lots of fruit and wine and these jewels and chalices, so he's clearly benefiting a lot from this. He has a lot of incentive to at least be in his position. Now, whether Urbain is in it for all of this, or if he truly is just a man of God, is really up for you to decide, but I feel like the game really tries to plant things that could divert you either way on that. But let's just talk to Urbain and see what he has to say.
Thanks to you, I was able to seek refuge in this nexus. Now I stay here and pray, along with my disciples, for the heroes facing the demons. If you wish for benevolent protection in your fight against the demons, then bring me demon souls. I will cleanse them and create... Astraea of the Valley of Defilement. The last I heard, Saint Astraea of the West was accompanied by the knight Garl Vinland. She would never be corrupted by souls, not under the protection of such a renowned knight in his charmed armor. Surely it is mere slander. Sadly, the weak are prone to such backstabbing. Vito the Moonlight Knight, Rizaya of Istarel, even Selen Vinland. Many honorable knights have ventured into Volataria in search of the Valley of Defilement. The vicious rumors about Astraea offend our most basic sense of respect for God's name. However, none of these great knights have made it back. Could it be that that wretched valley is so infested with grime that even our Lord's voice does not resonate there? Or perhaps it is the fate of those left behind by God. If you truly are a disciple, heavenly miracles, God, it is God's way of telling us we must stand against the demons. After the dark arts spread across the land, holy miracles were witnessed once again. The will of God is clear. We must defeat the demons, annul the curse of Boletaria, and purge the magicians who manipulate those accursed souls. As you know, souls are a source of wicked power, emanating from the demons. King Alant was overcome by lust for such power, and has placed Boletaria in her present predicament. Old Frake and the Candle Maiden are no exception. We must defeat and purge...
Okay. So there's a lot to pick out of what Urbane said there. Let's start with the miracles themselves. So he mentioned that they only showed up again after the dark arts in this scourge. Since we already know, thanks to the Talisman of Beasts, that miracles and magic are one and the same, really, makes a lot of sense. But he believes that, you know, they were a holy magic that came about to combat it, and not that they came about for the same reason. Next is Astraea and the Knights. So we already found Vito, his fate, with the Moonlight, or the Large Sword of Moonlight, whatever you want to call it. And Easterel is someone we'll see soon. Selin Vinland is actually someone that we're going to meet today. She's Garl Vinland's sister. And Garl Vinland is obviously the knight that ventured down into the Valley of Defilement. I think that Urbane's line about God's voice not even reaching down into the valley, and it's a place left behind by God, is really interesting, as it's something that we're going to talk about more after we meet Astraea here. Because this is one of the most interesting encounters in the game, and I'm actually going to probably be pretty quiet during it. I might chime in every now and then. Just know, if this game ever gets a PC port, and maybe one will be out or announced or something by the time this goes up, I don't know, probably not. I think the first mod we're going to see is the music for this being replaced with the original game. I highly recommend you go listen to the PS3 version soundtrack for this boss. It's still good here, but the PS3 version sets it up a lot better. But yeah, let's go in. I'll let most of this speak for itself.
Go forth, Galvin. May you be unharmed. Leave us, Slayer of Demons. This is a sanctuary for the lost and wretched. There is nothing here for you to pillage or plunder. Please, leave quietly. You killed him, didn't you? Very well. I can no longer resist you. Do as you like. Take your precious demon soul.
And there you have it. That is the so-called boss fight. Your reward is the Ring of Sincere Prayer, her soul, and the loss of your dignity. So, the truth behind Astraea is that, well, she merely wanted to help the people of the Valley of Defilement. She is there trying to cleanse it at the core of the filth of the world. And she became an archdemon to have the power to do that. Upon arriving in the Valley of Defilement, she saw how vile and awful it was that really she questioned if God even existed anymore from that point, but still did everything in her power to be able to help the people there. But we are someone on a mission, and we needed all these demon souls, no matter what they are. Who cares who we have to hurt to get them, right? The pure blood demon soul is definitely the most interesting of all of the boss souls. Consumed to gain a large number of souls. Soul of Maiden Astraea, become demon, a source of enormous power. So Maiden Astraea was very pure, even within the church, and one of the biggest things about her is even defiling her soul by becoming a demon, it still has this purity to it. I think it's really interesting, and I think that there's a spell, there it is, Death Cloud. Magic derived from the soul of Maiden Astraea, become demon, creates a deadly cloud of plague. Astraea, who willingly accepted the corrupted and corroded, naturally became the most corrupted of them all. I think it's really interesting. All the stuff surrounding Astraea and the way the game builds her up definitely makes her my favorite and most interesting character within the game. There are a few things that suggest that Astraea maybe isn't this like pure saint, but I like to believe that she is, and I think it creates an emotional high point for the game that few games ever really reach. But we're not quite done with Garl Vinland. We have a few things to do there, so let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I would normally wait till after I've talked to Selen for the first time, but if you come back to Astraea's arena, you can actually fight a Black Phantom version of Garl Vinland, assuming you're in pure White World tendency. This guy's actually really strong, and even in death, Garl Vinland just can't seem to catch a break, but as you can see, lots of health on him. He's just gonna try to parry me, but that's not happening. And wow. I'm just gonna keep pancaking him, jeez. Don't try to just use Poison Cloud, it doesn't work. I've tried it before. Believe me, he's tough, but it is possible to beat this version of Garl Vinland. Especially if he keeps whamming his hammer on the wall. He can parry you, that is something he can do, but yeah, the Poison Cloud strategy just doesn't work on this one, unfortunately. But strength weapons are probably your best bet. He's super tanky, a lot stronger than the normal version of Garl Vinland even. But this will net us some cool stuff with Selen's quest line. But I think it's really sad, even in death, after failing to protect Astraea, here we are again, just having to kick his ass. All for the sake of more loot. I do want to pick up a few of the items here in the Rotting Haven. Ooh boy, I gotta be real careful. I'm glad he's not one-shotting me at the very least, but he's honestly not far off from it. Okay, I should probably actually make sure I'm at full health. I think I can get a hit off. No, not quite. Bonk. Bonk. Is that it? One more. And if he does parry you, he can probably kill you. It's usually a one-shot with the parry. But with this, we can get the Vinland Crest and the Bramd, which is a great hammer. One thing I want to point out, if you actually go into the water here, there's these babies in there. Okay, I still have all my Archstone shards that I bought before. They are basically plague babies. They are actually the best farming spot for stones of ephemeral eyes within the game. But they'll kill you pretty quick. These guys kind of remind me of the child in Berserk, which a lot of stuff is very much inspired by Berserk in these games. I actually just read the Berserk manga for the first time a couple months ago, especially as I was preparing to do something like this. But let me get the Crest of Vinland, because we're actually going to need it to go talk to Selen.
Life's ether, soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength.
So you can kind of find Selen just chilling out over here. This is right after the first fog wall, so like that's the first block of the Swamp of Sorrow, and you can find Selen just right over here. She has quite a few things to say, so we'll talk to her here for a few minutes. I'm just hoping that the oh, I forgot about that thief ring. The Vinland crest doesn't interfere.
Why? You are one of the sane ones, are you not? I am Selen of the West. I seek my brother Garl Vinland, the knight who accompanied Saint Astraea on her travels. I believe they settled here. If you happen to see my younger brother, please tell me.
Ignore that. Sorry.
I must share with him the last words of our father. That crest. A Vinland heirloom meant for my younger brother. So, my brother and Astraea have both strayed from the path of God. The poor souls. Perhaps their hearts were too pure. Umbasa. Oh, traveling warrior. I hesitate to ask, but can you part with that crest? Garl has strayed from the path of righteousness, but I wish to have the heirloom in honor of our Vinland blood. I shall reward you in kind. Thank you, kind warrior. As Garl's sister, I express my deepest thanks for your honoring of his name. Please accept this as thanks. Perhaps you will have use for it, as he now does not. May you receive God's blessing. Umbasa.
There's the Ring of Devout Prayer. So we got the Ring of Sincere Prayer from Maiden Astraea, and you get the Ring of Devout Prayer from Selen here. I think you can trade an item with Sparkly for it as well. But that's 25 of the 30 rings. I think we're only going to be able to get one more. But let's go to the last thing here in the Valley of Defilement, which is going to be getting Easterel. So I've come here from the Leechmonger's Archstone, but this is, so that's the Plague Rats over there, and this is where you see the first giant depraved one you encounter. This ladder will be here in Pure White World Tendency. It might be here in Pure Black, but we're just going to go on ahead and climb up here. And this is going to be the path up to the other legendary weapon you can get here. There is an achievement tied to obtaining this weapon as well. Should have also mentioned there's an achievement for defeating Maiden Astraea without killing Garl Vinland, which is quite difficult to do with a melee build. I recommend just getting a bow and arrow, upgrade the bow quite a bit, and then just spam arrows on her from a distance. It's really the only way to do it, but it's doable. Let's not get hit by these depraved ones. Oh, these ones are about as strong as the depraved chasm ones. I thought they would be more Swamp of Sorrow ones, but there's a couple of them to fight all the way at the top here. We're almost there, I think. Yeah, here we are. So I'm gonna go on ahead and apply a cursed weapon, get to full health, and I'm really just gonna come in and just body them, I think. Not even gonna really like draw them out too much or play it too safe, because I am just way too strong for this area now. Look at that, one shot him. And you're the last one on the chopping block. Yeah, what's this? Ephemeral eyes, cool. Go on and pull this out. And you get the Spear of Easterel. We go ahead and take a look at it. Covered with engravings, this spear is one of the few remaining relics of God. Once belonged to the Holy Knight Rizaya. That's what her name is. The divine nature of the spear increases its wielder's resistance to plague and poison. So this can actually be kind of helpful to hold in your offhand to increase your poison and plague resistance. But yeah, that's everything in Valley of Defilement I wanted to cover. So I'm going to end this video here, and I will see you guys next time, where we'll finally be taking on the King's Tower and confronting Alant. Bye-bye.